Welcome back to a new video. Appreciate the support in the last couple of normal uploads. They've been performing quite well for whatever reason. But these are my last couple days of training. So this was Thursday, Saturday, and Sunday. Thursday was a pretty normal day. It was a day that I ended with front squats, which I did the previous day where I tried to do a triple with 180 and failed and wasn't 100% planning on doing front squats. I kind of came into the session knowing that I was going to do some snatching and clean and jerking, and I had the idea that I was like, I'll just put the bar on the rack and warm up and see if my body feels all right, and if I was going to feel achy, then I wasn't going to do it because it was actually earlier in the week. I want to say it was Tuesday. I considered doing a front squat, and I did 70 for just a single. I think it probably was even in the video, but like it was just nothing hurt, but it was just that like, oh, I'm sore, I'm not feeling this, and I didn't want to go up from there because I knew there wasn't going to be a lot of positive with that. But when I put the bar on and put 70 on, then I was like, oh, I actually don't feel bad, so see where it takes me. And it got me up to 185 for a double, which I've already posted as a short and stuff, so you might have already seen it. But I should have done 186 because that would have been a double PR. I didn't realize a month ago I did 185 for a double as well, which was a PR. So I just matched my best double, which is good. It was better than the previous one, so it's not bad in that regard. But probably could have done 186 at least. But it is what it is. What I've been noticing throughout this week, and it's something that frustrated me a lot on Saturday, kind of, but there's reasons that Saturday didn't go well outside of just the thing I'm talking about, which is the left shoulder thing I'm continuing to figure out. I have now acquired a squat rack, a really cheap one. It's actually, if you look at the clearance kind of video, it's kind of funny. It's literally that same squat rack. Because if you look for really cheap squat stands, it's just that same exact one. For me, it was $75, so I think probably the equivalent of whatever he paid. But I have that for the house now, and it actually goes up pretty tall, which is really nice because I can do like hanging and stuff from it. Not fully, like I can't stand there like a true pull-up bar, and it's too wobbly, so I'm not able to truly like do pull-ups and stuff or anything like that. But I can hang and stretch my shoulders, which is one thing I want to do for that left shoulder. Just really try to strengthen the area, and also after this Sunday session, I really want to start doing a lot of SOTS presses, and just not necessarily every day, but just in the mornings, just do them because I have set up in the house, so I don't even have to go out to the shed, so there's no resistance. I just have to literally walk into the other room. And I think just getting the shoulder as strong as I can, especially in that bottom position, will, of course, through a SOTS press or a snatch SOTS press or whatever, will help with the mobility, but will just obviously strengthen the joint as well. I did these pulls here where I did a complex of just a regular pull, a pause pull, and then a hang pull below the knee. I think the last set I messed it up, so I did an extra rep, but just at 130, so nothing too crazy with that. Overall, was happy with the session. Friday, I technically trained. I did an overhead press set, so I did 135 pounds, so like 61 kilos for just one set of 16, just for an AMRAP, and just stretch. So I didn't really, it wasn't truly a training day, so I didn't record anything for Friday. But Saturday, I was an idiot. And Saturday, or I guess Friday night, I just stayed up late, but that caused me to have to wake up early because earlier in the week, so it was actually after the session that you're seeing here, when I went to go on my computer later that night, I turned on my AC. As usually, after I finish training, I just turn it down what it's going to be when I go to sleep, so it can get down to the temperature, so I don't have to necessarily listen to it when I'm going to sleep as much. And I noticed like I'm kind of sweating, and I didn't think I was gaming that hard. I didn't think it was like the computer, doing anything weird. But I looked and the AC wasn't working. So thankfully it was really cool at night. It got down to like 60 degrees, so it wasn't bad to sleep Friday or Saturday. But I guess the compressor out in the AC unit had broken, and thankfully from the gym that I go to, there's an HVAC guy that goes there, Ryan, and he's super nice. And so I messaged him on Friday during the day, and he actually was able to come that day and look at it, and took him about 10 seconds to diagnose it because it didn't make I guess it makes an additional noise when the compressor is on. I thought it was something, I had never cleaned the air conditioning outside, so I thought it was related to that. But once I cleaned all the stuff off the outside, it still wasn't working. So I have a feeling that that probably caused the compressor to not work. I don't know if that's a common thing to just stop working or to break down, because it's something I got in 2017 or 18, maybe even 2019. I'm not exactly sure. But it's a couple of years old, but not old enough to where it should be entirely broken down. But he was able to potentially, or he actually said he was going to potentially be able to come on Friday, or like go somewhere and like get a piece and then come back. And I was like, you just come tomorrow, like it's not a big deal, because it was supposed to be really cool at night, so I wasn't going to sweat to death. And he came Saturday and fixed it right up, and yeah, now it's on right now and it works. So really happy about that. It only cost me $100 too, which is I think pretty reasonable, especially compared to what you'd have to pay, going through a company and stuff for them just to come look at it. Probably would have been close to 100 or 150 for them to come and say the same thing that he did. And thankfully he was able to help me out with that, and I was glad I was able to. I mean, hopefully compensate him fairly. I assume the $100 is. I assume that was a fair price. It seemed fine to me, because the part itself I think was like $15. So it was a pretty cheap part. So the rest of that was labor, but it didn't take him too long to do, thankfully. But I mean, to help out a friend anyway, I wouldn't even mind being overcharged, as long as you can work with someone that you trust. I think that's a nice thing, a nice advantage of being having friends, but also just being in like a powerlifting around like hardworking people. They tend to find jobs where you can do hardworking things, and so just happen to know an HVAC guy. And if you ever become friends with someone that is into that stuff, then it's a good friendship to have. Obviously, not to just because of that, but it is nice to have that, even if it's someone that can recommend someone for you, which is almost as useful as them coming and doing it themselves. If you can have someone come and do stuff when you trust them. I know when I moved into my house, I had to get the AC unit. Originally was there, was super old. It was the biggest expense that I had to replace. And thankfully, my teaching mentor was able to recommend a company that would come and do it. And they, as far as I know, did a good job. It's been working pretty well since then. So it's nice when you don't have to just go in the dark with that. The recommendations for like big purchases like that, or just for fixes, it's nice to know you're not getting ripped off or whatever with that. And I mean, honestly, I was honestly happy that he messaged back at all. I thought he would, it's Friday. I didn't think, I assumed he was working or whatever. And I was like, well, maybe he'll be able to get here sometime next week. And I was like, it's supposed to be cool, so I'll survive till then. But yeah, his turnaround was real quick, so glad he was able to come and help me out. And hopefully, I mean, I plan, if I have any other set or issues, I know who I want to contact. And the positive experience you have with people like that, allows you to recommend them to other people, and hopefully not be, an imposition, but obviously, spread, if that's his job, to spread that business out more. But anywho, this is so the Saturday session. So all that to say, I went to bed super late on Friday because I had to get up early, since he was coming over, and woke up. I slept for like 4.5 hours, five, not very much. And so in that Saturday session, I just did not have energy that I should have. I just did not have that gusto, and just kind of pushed through it for snatches, and they honestly went okay for how I was feeling. But once I got to clean and jerks, I was like, I just don't have any aggression to get under this bar. And so I did 120 for two singles. I actually loaded 140, and I just looked at it and I was like, I just don't even want to do it. So I knew it wasn't going to feel good, and I knew I didn't want to squat. Or it's like, it was just like, I just need to stop. Slept a lot Saturday night into Sunday, and felt a lot better today. And that's probably going to be my number one goal moving into the school year, is to make sure that I'm getting as much sleep as I possibly can, and utilizing naps and stuff, not during the school day, of course. That would be kind of not right, but taking like a 20-minute nap, and trying to figure out how I can fit that in. Maybe obviously if I'm training at home, I can come home and take a quick 20-minute nap and relax for a little bit, and then get my body ready to go. But even if I drive to the physical gym, like maybe I just take a 20-minute nap in my car and then go into train. Because it's very often, especially during a school year, in the winter, when I'm going to train at the physical space, that I get out of school, I drive for 50 minutes, and then it's like I don't really feel like immediately starting to train. It's kind of difficult. You're tired from the school day, and just sat in a car for 45, 50 minutes. in traffic, and it's usually I like to kind of sit around. But if I took a little 20-minute nap, maybe time would be a little bit less. Here in this session, this is a Sunday, and I saw got to 117 without missing. I was able to get the bar a lot further behind me. What I was trying to do, and you'll see, I may actually make 122 on this last attempt here. My left shoulder depressed a little bit, so it didn't feel very nice catching it, but the technique and the position that I caught it in, I was happy with. But it just was kind of the impotence for me thinking of really pushing snatch push presses and stuff like that to really just try to strengthen that joint as much as I can, as well as continue to stretch that area just to make it as mobile as possible as well. But what should we call it? What was I saying? Oh yeah, the focus of snatches, which was really helpful and it helped on cleans a lot as well, was trying to obviously pull the or keep the bar into my hip or wait, not extend early. But when I was extending, to not just think about my legs extending, but also think about my back almost extending backwards. And not necessarily that I literally want my back to do that, but what I think that was allowing to do. So you can see on these 155 attempts that the cleans were really easy. They felt really good, and then I was really disappointed because the jerks were terrible. So that's going to change programming for the week. But that timing, I think, helped with both the snatches enough and with the clean jerks. Because even like the 122 I missed on that first rep, which was the closest of the misses that I had, felt really good pulling, felt really good extending. It was just the left shoulder that just wasn't there. You see that last 155 just pushed out in front. If you can clean it for 3 singles, you probably should be able to do it for a jerk at least once, and I just wasn't able to. But I took a big jump from that 140 up. I thought I had a pretty good chance of doing it. I just have to get more practice in it, and that's going to be a programming thing. So with squats today, I was thinking of potentially getting up to 233 for a double. You'll see when I did 233, it was pretty difficult, or at least it felt difficult to me, so I didn't try it for a second one. But certainly happy to be able to hit that, since that's what I missed when I went to the other gym. Difficult, but anytime hit 230 plus, then that's going to be good for the back squat. But as far as programming, I have to kind of sit and look at it and figure out when I want to add jerks in. I want to add pause in the dip, but also pause in the catch, and just set up the jerk blocks and just do them a lot. So I really just need to probably need to do them twice a week at different times, and just man up and set up the blocks and do them. Because it's just going to help my jerks for those, because there's no reason I shouldn't be doing 155 on a regular basis based on how easy those cleans are. It's purely just a technical thing I need to improve at with the jerk, and that's improving my footwork, that's improving my dip drive, that's improving the bar being pushed back, so that comes back to the mobility and the snatch shots or the presses and all of that stuff. Just doing all the little things and trying to get that position as locked in as possible. Especially, I behind the neck jerked 170, so like all of the pieces are there. I just have to put the technique of the split jerk together, and I think once I can do that, then obviously these heavy attempts will go better, and the more attempts I'm able to make at that 155, that I can really start taking cracks at heavier and heavier numbers. Same kind of thing with snatches. If I can consistently get up to that 117 without missing, and I'm able to do that and it feels good, although that 117 didn't look that good, the missing kind of behind or like overextending is usually a good miss or a good fault for me, because usually I do the opposite, it's out in front. So like if I can continue to do positive things like that and build the momentum and improve the shoulder strength and mobility, I think these lifts will hopefully start to continue to trend up. So I'll have to figure out how I want to structure things this week. But with that being said, like I said, I appreciate all of the support in the last couple videos. They've been performing quite well. And yeah, that's going to be it for this one. One more week, and then the school year is upon us. So all next week is free. And then the week after that is, I think kids come that following Thursday. So there's a couple of like teacher days. So be rocking and rolling after that. So that's when life gets a lot busier, but I'm excited for it, to be honest, which is kind of an interesting feeling. It's nice to like my job, like where I work and stuff. I certainly am quite lucky with that sort of thing. But anywho, that's it for now. I'll talk to you on the next one. I hope you all have a great day. Peace.